I don't know what the deal is with Heaven Piercer from Ultrakill, but I've seen this requested so many times in my comments, so I'm just going to dive right in and check this out. Spinal Staircase is the first movement of this. Let's call it a symphony. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into here with this Ultrakill OST. Here we go. So obviously this is an interesting counterpoint. We have this feeling of vastness and feeling of a bit of morbidity and ominous feelings when we hear underneath, right? Then you have this record player. It sounds like an old gramophone, something that you would, you hear in the turn of the century, the 20s, 30s, which is very classical based. And so that juxtaposition of the two actually increases our sense of discomfort and worry, because on the one hand we have the ominous sound, which puts us in a scene, and then on top of that we have this old record player that we almost hear, we can imagine it in like a dark room, and you're like looking at a very dark hallway, and there's just blood red colors everywhere, and all of a sudden you start to hear this record player go off, and it gives you this feeling of like, what the hell is this, right? That's the feeling that I get when I listen to this. This is doing a sublime job of putting us in a situation that makes us feel uneasy, and I love the distortion that as we begin to move into this new section, which is called Chaos, we have distorted and deformed that beautiful orchestral music from the gramophone record player, whatever it may be, into this like dusty sort of dust bowl wind quality. Ambient music like this can be really, really effective. We don't always need a melody to create and elicit a feeling of whatever feeling that the composer is trying to elicit. It's very apparent that we're moving into something kind of intense here. It's incredibly still. Isn't it funny? So, of course, the title of this section is called Chaos, and you hear that chaos. Now, of course, we have the rhythmic pattern underneath. And then over top, the the electric guitar is kind of doing whatever it wants. It's moving around, and it's shifting in rhythms, it's shifting in meter. It's causing us to feel, chaos is causing us to feel a little bit disturbed, a little bit uneasy, because it's all over the place. It's really intense. It's okay. So I saw that this is in reference to a character, King Minos. There is absolutely a sense that King Minos, now I have no idea what he looks like, although I am looking at some artwork of King Minos right in front of me. So I suppose, the heart, see-through chest, the huge arms with the cobra-like snakes that are wrapped around the hands. There's a brutality in King Minos that is coming across here, of this ruthlessness, almost like sort of the consumption, almost like he's a consumptive king who consumes and feasts and eats players, or at least almost like eats dreams. And there's a darkness about King Minos that is, there's a life and death situation here where it feels like King Minos would consume us. There's rageful vengeance and rageful feelings of complete destruction that are occurring in this chaos segment. Sounds like a chainsaw back there. As we move into prime monologue and order intro, there is an absolute feeling that there's a lot of thrashing around, like throwing one's weight around, like chaos, like an incontrollable inability to control. Well, that's the same sentence, but there's an inability to control one's impulses or like rage. There's a lot of violence. A bull in a ring. And there's this feeling of ruthlessness that really is coming across, and it's just like flailing around.
Free at last. Oh, Gabriel, now dawns thy reckoning, and thy gore shall glisten before the temples of man. Creature of steel, my gratitude upon thee for my freedom. But the crimes thy kind have committed against humanity are not forgotten, and thy punishment is death.
To me, that is madness. Da, 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 da. When we hold over a note like that and re-emphasize it, there's a feeling there of really like, You don't understand. I have nothing. This is the only thing I can do to feel like my life has any meaning. You don't understand. There's a desperation in that sound quality, but also in this case, because of the instrumentation with the electric guitar, there is a ruthlessness and a feeling of like, I will have my vengeance because you don't understand. I have nothing left. Yada, da, da, yada, da, da. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, you won't get in the way of me! You know, like, you will not stop me from pursuing and taking care of the things that I need to do, you son of a bitch! That's really the feeling that comes across. And also with the strumming of the electric guitar, you really get this sense of like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. You know, like, I have to do this. Get out of my way. You don't understand. Everything I have ever needed is right there. It's standing between me and you. You will not be the one to defeat me because I need to do this. You know what I mean? It's so brutally about desperation and about like achieving something because it has to be done in order for them to have their ideals met. And if we stop them, or if the character stops them, or whatever character stops them, their whole life will be a lie and will be worth nothing. Nothing can get in the way of that. That can't be a reality.
Forgive me, my children, for I have failed to bring you salvation from this cold, dark world.
The thing is, King Minos is based off of an actual literary and historical figure. He was the author of the Cretan Constitution and the founder of its naval supremacy. On the Athenian stage, Minos is a cruel tyrant, the heartless exactor of the tribute of Athenian youths to feed to the Minotaur, in revenge for the death of his son Androgeus during a riot. After his death, Minos became a judge of the dead in the underworld. So I wonder if we hear some of that music in this Ultrakill OST here. This feeling of redemption and revenge for his son and the feeling of loss over being sent to the underworld. And he says there at the end, "I'm sorry I failed you, my children," and I'm trying to understand what that significance could be, because it's interesting. In some ways, I was rooting for King Minos as I was listening to this, trying to understand why he so valiantly fights against the darkness that we will bring to put an end to him. What is his motivation? And there is that sense of, nothing will get in my way. Please don't dare get in my way. I will end you. It really comes across to me. It was a really intense and honestly awesome piece of music, and it really makes me want to check out Ultrakill. Add it to the list of games that I'm trying to check out these days. As always, if you like this sort of stuff, feel free to like, subscribe. There's links in the About section if you want to support the channel. And as always, thanks a ton, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.